NBA sports coverage of the National Football League. Finds us in the magnificent city of Atlanta. Used to be the terminus of the Western and Atlantic Railroad here. That's why they still sound the train horn inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap. It's the Detroit Lions and the Atlanta Falcons. Mike Tirico, Greg Olsen ready to get the preseason started. And we are underway here in Atlanta. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. So the Lions come out, and they are led again by Jared Goff. Already year 10 in the league, and half of those 10 with the Lions. Remember, took the Rams to a Super Bowl as well. What a year last year, Greg. Second in passing yards in the NFL.
Judging by our conversations with the coaches, Mike, I think it's a pretty safe bet. We won't be seeing a lot of this guy. I think what they're trying to do is just get him under center, knock off some of the rest of the offseason, and get him a couple live reps before he starts in week 1. At the end of the day, you just can't replicate this style of live action in practice. So whether you're an established veteran like him or a young quarterback, these reps in the preseason are invaluable. And this run game certainly didn't waste any time getting settled in. Nice job by the offensive line, displacing defenders at the point of attack, and allows the back to pick up a nice chunk to get this game rolling.
On play action, Goff. Oh, intercepted on the second play of the game. And he's going to bring this one back. Less than a minute into the game, it's a pick 6 and an early touchdown. You get the ball to start the game thinking you'll score on offense. Instead, they allow the defense to be the first on the board in this one.
So now the question is, Mike, do you allow this to linger the rest of the day? You've dug yourself a pretty big hole here to start, but you've got to pick yourself up and realize this game is far from over, and we now got to get the ball back and establish some early rhythm.
The extra point by Romo is good, and the Falcons will race out to a quick 7-0 edge.
Set to kick off.
7-0 is our score as this kick is sent into the air. Khalif Raymond to return it. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to get back at it. And Greg, week 1 here in the preseason. Look, we know a lot of the guys who are going to make the roster, but there's still a lot to happen in training camp that players can find their way to a spot on the opening Sunday.
Well, we hear these stories all the time, Mike, where there's a little buzz about a guy in training camp and coming out of the local beat reporters and maybe the coaches.
Now, right on the heels of the pick 6, he is intercepted. Picked off by Peyton Ellis. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
I would love to see his weapons do a better job, Mike, especially in the middle of the field, getting open in these zones. I just feel like there's been tight coverage, a lot of little windows to throw through, and yes, anytime you turn the ball over, it's on the quarterback, but the rest of this supporting unit needs to do a better job helping him.
The Falcons come out and they are led by Michael Penix, the second-year quarterback out of Washington. Greg taking over late last year and winning the job as the Atlanta starting quarterback.
Starting all the way back in the spring, Mike, there has been months of preparation building up for this very game. And for a lot of the guys on the sideline that have been around for a long time, these preseason games might not feel all that important. But I promise you, for that young guy who's putting an NFL helmet on for the very first time running out of that tunnel, these games go a long way, not only to making this current roster, but trying to make a career out of playing in the NFL.
Down at the 12. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Penix. That's to the end end zone, but they cannot connect. It's incomplete. Trying to get it to Kyle Pitts. And it'll bring up second down. We'll give you a look at the key inactives for tonight's ball game. Interesting to see how much of an impact their absence will have on this one. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. And they'll run out of the gun. Here comes Robinson. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 7.
From the gun, here is Pitts. It is brought in the end zone. Drake London. Touchdown, Falcons.
Where you make your mark in the NFL playing quarterback, Mike, is anyone can operate from a clean pocket. But how good are you when that thing gets a little muddy? And this is an NFL-type throw. You're down here. You're looking for a touchdown tight in the red zone. You're in the face of pressure. You've got to hold it for just an extra second to let that route come open. Not everybody can do that. In this case, he hangs in there, delivers it on the money, and comes away with a big touchdown.
The kicking team on for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Falcons move out on top, 14-0.
14, Lions nothing. Bradley Pinion set to kick off.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Raymond now to return it. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now, headed back onto the field. They're an early hole, 14-0. Start digging out soon. Begin this drive, 1st and 10. The play fake. Here's Goff. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
Here goes. Black 20.
The motion man is Raymond. Goff gives it to Gibbs. Can he get away? No! He's going to be taken down behind the line.
Well, it's been the case this entire first half. It's been the defense that's really carried the load for this team. Some offensive struggles, but they've done more than their part, coming through again with another big stop for a loss.
3rd and long.
Here goes tonight. 180.
They'll bring St. Brown in motion. From the gun, on 3rd down, it's gone. That'll be caught. It's Jahmyr Gibbs. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
It's a gain of 30.
It is a huge play for Detroit. And even 30 yards.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
This defense just gets punched in the mouth on that one, Mike, and it just seemed from up here that not everyone on defense was on the same page, and the offense was able to take advantage of it. The defense has to clean things up here in a hurry, because if they don't, they could be in for a long day.
Down the field, he's got St. Brown. And he's going to be taken down right at the 25-yard line. First reception of the game for St. Brown. And he gives his team a 1st down.
1st and 10.
It's so early in the game, you have to be careful now as coaches and players that you don't find yourself trailing early and get out of your game plan. There is so much time left. Stick to what you've worked on all week. There's plenty of time to chip away and see if you can make this thing close come the 4th quarter.
On 1st and 10, here's Goff. That one, oh, it's on target, but it goes as an incompletion. Looked like he had that one in his grasp, but unable to hold on, and it will be 2nd down.
2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Here's a give-to-gives on the zone read, and he'll get forward for about a yard. James Pierce in on the tackle.
4-yard line. A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and
8. We're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8.
White 20,
From the gun, it's Goff. And that is incomplete. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the receiver he was trying to target. And now it's 4th down.
I think he predetermined that 3rd down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there. And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Ray McLeod on the return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with 1st down. Back to throw. Here's Penix. Throw here down the field. Will fall. Incomplete.
Initially, a nice job by the receiver. He actually was open downfield. He was able to get behind the defense, but the window closed up so quickly they couldn't get the ball to him. Prevents the big play.
On the option, here's Robinson. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
He sniffed that one out from the jump. I mean, once he diagnosed and knew where the ball was going, he got there in a hurry, and he put an end to that play really before it ever got started.
On 3rd down, Penix. That's complete. He's got it to London. Remember, he had the touchdown on the opening drive, and here on drive 2, he gets a 1st down with that catch.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
And a lefty Penix on 1st down. That's going to be incomplete. Covered very stoutly. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
All things considered, it's actually a pretty good pass. I mean, he puts the ball in a place where only his guy can catch it, but I think he hears those footsteps coming from that nearest defender, and he's not able to secure the catch through contact.
That one taken in by London. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
A bit of a quick hitter here, and what you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot, but they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
Throwing again, it's Penix. And that is incomplete.
I think as the offense comes to the sideline now, the quarterback and his wide receivers need to get together and say, hey guys, what are you seeing out there? How can we find some open targets? Because on that last down, there was nowhere to go with the ball.
Raymond going to return it, and he'll get a few yards. On this return, a pass the 15-yard line. The Lions offense about ready to take over once more. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. Goff to throw. Catch is made by Wright. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
Just a simple hitch route. Certainly nothing special there or anything downfield, but the idea is the more of those you throw and those efficient passes, the second the defense moves up to take it away, that's when you go for the big ones.
He'll get about 2. Mike Hughes is there with the tackle.
And while that run wasn't anything really to write home about, what it allows them to do, Mike, is keep everything in the playbook at their disposal. 3rd and short, now it's up to these coaches to dial up their best short yardage play and extend this drive.
Look wide, get this one complete, and he's going to get this close to a 1st down, but he's out of bounds a yard short, and that's going to make it 4th down. On 4th down, Lions going to send out the All-Pro from the season ago, Jack Fox to punt. The Falcons are going to send Jamal Agnew deep to return. This one fielded out beyond the 25. The Falcons offense starting to try out for this next possession. Going to be looking to possibly push this to a 3-score advantage. Work to do on this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Robinson. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
I can promise you that is not how they wanted to start this drive, Mike. I mean, to get blown up at the point of attack, there was just nowhere for the back to go on that run.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12.
Let's go. Check out.
Another run here for Robinson. And he's going to be swallowed up again. Back-to-back runs, back-to-back losses. Now it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and
Well, they certainly didn't allow the loss on 1st down, Mike, to scare him out of this run game here on 2nd down. But now after taking a loss on 1st and 2nd, it puts him in a tough spot here coming up on 3rd down.
And that is incomplete.
Great pass rushers live for 3rd down, especially when they know the offense has to be one-dimensional. And this is a great example here, Mike. They can just pin their ears back and go. They know there is no threat for run. It is a must-pass situation, and for this offense, they're lucky it didn't result in a sack.
Here comes a return, and he's going to be brought down after a short return, and that's where his team will get possession of the football. The Lions offense ready to take over once again. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10.
Come on. 180.
Look to hit him with a jet sweep here to begin this drive. And he tries to get to the edge, but cannot do it. Good job on the defense, no gain.
Tried to get a little cute here, get the ball into the hands of one of their receivers in space on a jet motion, but really nice job there by the defense. When you can set good edges and you can have good force players on the perimeter of the defense, there's really nowhere for this jet sweep to go, because with them running horizontal before the snap, Mike, it's very hard for these receivers to cut and get vertical.
A gain of 16 yards. Good for a Lions 1st down.
Really nice explosive play there on the ground, and tell you what, for these fans sitting in the stadium, they're not used to seeing their home team pushed around, so continue to be physical at the line of scrimmage, mix in the runs with the pass, and they can continue to generate these big explosive runs. I don't think they need to go away from it.
2nd and 10.
brings up 2nd and 10 at their 48-yard line.
Go, come on. 180.
They'll bring St. Brown in motion. Once again, it's Gibbs. He'll move it ahead for about 3 yards. Hayden Ellis in on that stop.
Midfield to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
Here comes 3rd and 6.
Here we go. Right play. What's that?
Out of the shotgun, it's Goff. Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him.
You know what they say about Murphy's Law, Mike? Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. He's had a pick 6 earlier in the game. Now he takes a sack. Fortunate for him, there's a lot of football to be played, but this has been a disastrous start.
Here's Jack Fox now. The punt for the 2nd time, looking to pin the opponent back deep. The Falcons offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. They'll begin with 1st down from their own 11. On the carry, this is Tyler Algier. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
So these, Mike, are the body blow runs. They're not big gains, they're nothing fancy, but they really set that physical tone for the rest of the game where now a good play caller can use some of these early runs to set up something a little bit bigger down the road.
They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
A gain of 1. Brings up 3rd down and 9.
21 is the line to gain as we hit 3rd down.
19 Tiger. 19 Tiger.
Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. And that is incomplete.
The offense just couldn't seem to get anything going that drive. They knew they had a long way to go taking over possession that deep in their own territory. You want to pick up that 1st down and see if you can capitalize some momentum. Instead, the errant throw brings up 4th down, and they're going to have to punt it away.
And it's a good return here, able to take it across the 50, set up the offense with a short field. The Lions offense getting their final instructions before heading back onto the field. They've got great starting position with a short field as they try to get back in this one. It is 1st and 10. They'll go play action with Goff. Now for the 3rd time in the 1st quarter, he's been intercepted. That's the safety, Jesse Bates. And the Falcons are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The best way, Mike, for a defense to bait these bad throws is don't allow the quarterback to throw the ball to their 1st read. By the time he gets to the 3rd or 4th read, in this case, the defender has already put himself in position, jumped that route, challenged the receiver, and that's a big-time takeaway.
The Falcons offense ready for this next possession. They'll begin with 1st and 10. The drive will begin here with a run by Robinson. Inside the 30. And he will score. Bijan Robinson. Touchdown Atlanta. Well, that's a way to start a drive. He takes it all the way to the house. I don't know what they were talking about on the last series, but they've come out on this series, Greg, with the right answer for the touchdown.
And Mike, the reason a lot of teams start off drives with the run play is to allow themselves to operate ahead of the chains. Well, not this guy. He found the alley, he took it, and he's off to the races for 6.
Now the try for an extra point. He's got it. And the Falcons move out to a 21-3 advantage.
Bradley Pinion set to kick off.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Raymond now to return it. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to take over possession of the football. They are facing an uphill climb early. Begin this drive with 1st and 10. Now, faking the give. Oh, the struggles continue. Another interception. That's the safety, Jesse Bates. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Falcons take over 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
And these are the throws that are really holding the offense back right now, Mike. He just has to make better decisions because you're not going to win many games when you turn the ball over at this rate.
On 1st and 10, it's Penix. Oh, fine work there defensively. Got that hand in there. That pass is incomplete. Drake London was the intended receiver there. And that will lead to a 2nd down.
Ready? Rock all 80.
It's a give up the middle to Robinson. He's fighting to get back to the line of scrimmage, but can't get there. Dropped for the loss of a yard.
Back's doing everything in his power to try to get that ball around the edge to the boundary, but just great pursuit there by this linebacker, staying with his angles, running through contact, and he makes the play behind the line.
They come to the line needing 11 here on 3rd down.
Hawk 70. Up, go.
Now Penix. This one broken up. It's incomplete. Good job separating the receiver from the ball, and it is 4th down.
And barring an aggressive decision here on 4th down, it just seemed like a really wasted possession to go 3 and out, not able to pick up a single 1st down. Not only do you not able to gain any field position advantage, it really takes a lot of the wind out of your sails as you find yourself jogging off the field and the punt team coming up. I think at this point in the game, Mike, when you had things under control, not only were they able to hold on to the ball for a while, they still were able to manage to add 3 points.
Bradley Pinion set to kick off.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Raymond now to return it. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now headed back onto the field. They'll start out 1st down and 10. On the ground to start, they give it to Gibbs. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more.
No gain on the play.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Straight ahead with Gibbs. Crazy. Gibbs with a 1st down and more. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line. A gain there of 27 yards. Set to go now on 1st and 10.
Here we go. And the Lions.
A run up the middle, it's Gibbs. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. That's another 1st down, another big play. The defense has some issues. Gain of 18.
A gain of 18 on the play. 1st down, Lions.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense.
And he'll get forward for a couple. James Pierce in on the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 25, here's 2nd down and 7.
180!
On the handoff, this is Gibbs. He'll move the pile forward. Let's give him a couple. The veteran Leonard Floyd, they're on the tackle.
3-yard pickup. And it's
Here now, 3rd and 5.
Like 20!
Throwing here is gone. And that is incomplete.
All right, so in these 3rd and short, 3rd and mediums, we're kind of seeing teams around the league, Mike, kind of start shifting to more of a run-down philosophy where they say, okay, even if we don't pick it up, we still have 4th down. So many teams around the league are playing with that philosophy. In this case, they keep it in the air, falls incomplete, just brings up a challenging 4th down decision.
On 4th down, Goff. And that is not going to work. It is incomplete. They go for it on 4th and wind up turning it over on down. Here's Bijan Robinson and the Falcon offense set for their next drive. And he has been sensational in this opening quarter. You have to imagine we're going to see much more of him as this game goes on. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22.
Here we go! 70 Timberwolf!
Throwing is Penix. Oh, the blitz gets there quickly, and down he goes. Jack Campbell. He gets in there for the sack, and it looks like the time off has not slowed him down one bit.
Looked like a pass protection breakdown. They had 5 offensive linemen and a running back in the backfield. I promise you, somebody was assigned to that linebacker, but he timed the blitz perfectly. He ran through and was able to bring him down for a big sack.
And that one going to be closed down in the backfield. Great defensive play. Knifing it and dropping him for a loss.
So now that's 2 consecutive plays where they end up going backwards. So a sack, a negative run. The biggest thing you have to avoid in the NFL are these negative plays, because now it puts all of the pressure on a 3rd and pass situation. And when a defense can play you one-dimensional, it is a big challenge for any offense.
Pretty good effort on that one. It will not be enough. It's going to bring up 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's on to punt it for the 4th time tonight. This one, returnable. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Lions offense back onto the field for their next possession. They'll do so with 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with Gibbs. Threw him up the sideline at the 45. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 36-yard line. What a way to kick off a drive. That's a gain of 30 and another 1st down.
Well, that's how you get a drive started. A big play here in the run game, and you have to imagine this is something we're going to continue to see. Success early in the drive typically results in success later in the drive.
First and 10 now from the 36.
Tonight. 180.
On the jet sweep, the give to St. Brown. And this defense having nothing of it. They get him down for a loss on the play.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 37-yard line.
Lost 1 on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. Now Gibbs. He'll try to get back to the line, but it's not happening. Gonna lose a yard.
Behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 yards. And it's 3rd down.
3rd and long.
We go tonight.
Here's Goff. Oh, for the 5th time, he is intercepted. And the Falcons are going to get the football back as time runs out in the 3rd quarter. One quarter in the books. It's the Falcons with the early lead. Greg and I back in Atlanta after this. The Falcons have it to start quarter number 2 as they are set to start the drive with 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Cousins. That is incomplete. No way to force the football in there. Good coverage. It'll bring up 2nd down.
It leads to 2nd and
And I think I want to see a little bit more of this style from this defense. The key, Mike, is at that catch point, you want to create as much contact and be physical. Separate the ball from the intended receiver, and it's a great example there.
Only a couple on that one. It'll set up 3rd down.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment. Keeps this to a modest gain at best.
3rd, they need 8.
Jahan! 180!
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. This one intercepted. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position. A huge chance to cut into the deficit.
Mike, there's usually such a comfort level when the guy playing quarterback behind center is a veteran. They've seen a lot of ball. You can trust them to make good decisions. And then every once in a while, one just gets away, and that's just simply a bad ball, a bad mistake. And you're not going to get away with it at this level.
The Lions offense make their way out to take over once more. They'll start really in field goal territory already, but they're looking for more. Offense got it 1st and 10. closes quickly. He's stopped after a gain of a yard. Up from his safety spot, Jesse Bates makes the play. So, from the 37, here's 2nd and 8. A run up the gut with Montgomery. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. First down, Detroit.
And we're starting to see the fruits of their labor paying off here. I mean, they've used this run game to throw a bunch of body blows throughout the entire contest. And while some of the carries didn't result in much at the time, it's clear they're starting to take its toll on this defense.
Trying to bounce that outside. It went a long way for a gain of nothing.
So this team finds themselves now in a little bit of a tricky situation here, Mike. If they don't find a way to start sustaining some of these drives and come away with points, all of a sudden you're trailing by double digits in the second half. You become very one-dimensional. You become very pass-heavy, and that's certainly not how any team in the NFL wants to play.
He'll look forward for a couple. J.D. Bertrand able to bring him down. They need 8 as they come up for 3rd down.
Here we go, set. Liking it.
Operating out of the gun, here comes Allen. Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he will easily pick up the 1st down. They've got 1st and goal coming up.
That's good for a Lions 1st down.
And this is what can happen when you're so worried about protecting the sticks, Mike. You force them to throw the ball underneath, but then you've got to be able to rally the ball and tackle. But they weren't able to do it before he gets the line to gain, and he ends up picking up the 1st down anyway.
He's slowed up quickly as he gets this down to the 6.
The tackle made at the 6-yard line.
2nd and goal.
2nd and goal.
They'll turn and hand this one off. And the defense stiffening here. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. 3rd and goal coming up.
Give credit to this defense, Mike. Their back's against the wall, and they're standing tall so far. Nothing on those first 2 runs. We'll see what the offense has in store now as they bring up 3rd down.
Allen going to throw here on 3rd and goal. To the goal line and in. Sione Vaki. Touchdown, Lions. Now Jake Bates on for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Lions are able to cut into the deficit.
Lions 10.
Kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Here comes a return from the 5. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Falcons offense ready to take over once more. The lead is a couple of touchdowns as this drive kicks off 1st and 10. Using the jet sweep for the fake, they run it up the middle. And they'll knock him down just shy of the 40. That one good for a dozen. And a very quick 1st down.
Well, really nice start here to the drive. Early down success. Every offensive coordinator is trying to find ways. How do we pick up 1st downs without having to get to 3rd down? We see it here. Big explosive run. Now the rest of the drive unfolds.
Play action now. It's Cousins. He'll get back to Kadero High. And he's going to be out of bounds just beyond midfield. First time they've looked his way tonight. Good time to do it. It's a first down.
At the 49-yard line.
Working out of the gun, it's Cousins. That one down the field, but it is incomplete.
Contrary to what all of the fans at home think, I don't have rooting interest in any of these games. But as you know, when it comes to tight ends, there's no bigger fan than this guy right here. I want to see them be able to connect, especially on those big plays downfield.
A run with Carter. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
The best linebackers at this level, Mike, they have all the physical attributes. That's a given. But it's really their instincts. It's their ability to dissect and predetermine where the ball is going before the ball is even snapped. And you could see with how fast he met the back at the point of attack, he knew exactly what play was coming.
Cousins out of the gun on third down. That's into the hands of Werner, the tight end. 14 yards on that pass play there. It's good for a Falcon first down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So far here early, Mike, the key for this offense has been their ability to maintain possession by converting on these third downs. It's going to be a big storyline the rest of the way. This defense has to find a way. When they force third down, they got to get off the field.
They'll run here. It's Carter. And he'll work this down inside the 35. Jack Campbell, the former first-round pick, there to wrap him up.
A gain of a yard. Brings up second and
From the
9.
34-yard line. Here's second and 9. On the run, here's Carter. Just refusing to go down. He winds up with a gain of 7.
At the 26.
Very positive returns on that run. I mean, really, the only thing not to like is that they weren't able to move the chains. But you know what? The way he ran there, I think they go right back to him and see if he has even a bigger carry in him.
Oh, he didn't need much, but I don't think he got there. Gonna depend on the spot, but it looks like he is short.
So it's a pretty manageable third down, so they really have the option to run or pass, so they decide to keep the ball on the ground, which I don't mind as long as you've made the decision already that you're willing to use fourth down to pick up the rest of the yards. If not, I think that's a big mistake.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. He'll start at the 4. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. The Lions offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with first and 10. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
So often when it comes to safeties, Mike, we talk about their speed and their range, but for him to be able to come up and make a tackle and be physical at the point of attack and keep this ball carrier to no gain, that's pretty impressive.
To the air on second down. Here's Allen. First time he's caught a ball here tonight, and it is good for a first down.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Lions.
And that's what you call being fearless, going over the middle. That's not everybody's cup of tea in this league, Mike. Some guys love to operate outside the numbers, and some guys understand their role is in the middle of the field, and not only to make that catch, but to do it laying out. It's a big-time play to secure that one.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10.
Here we go, set. Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
From the gun, here's a handoff. He'll work this ahead for 2, maybe 3. Mike Hughes is there with the tackle.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up second and 7 at the 46-yard line.
From the 46-yard line, a second down and 6.
Stephanie. Cougar 19.
They'll stick with him again. He'll push forward for about a yard. The veteran Leonard Floyd there on the tackle.
A gain of a yard. Brings up third and 5.
3rd and 5.
Here we go, here we go. Go.
They'll try to get this one on the ground. A gain there of 16 yards. Good for a Lions first down.
Gain of 16 yards. That's good for a Lions first down.
Typically in a third down situation like this, Mike, you're thinking pass, but give credit to this offensive play caller. He flips his tendencies upside down, keeps the ball on the ground. Not only does he get a fresh set of downs, they pick up good yardage.
Let's go.
They'll stay on the ground. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2.
He's tackled at the 34-yard line. A gain of 2. Brings up second and 8.
Okay, ready.
They'll come up on a second down and 8. Here's a toss as they look to run. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And that's it.
And they've really done a nice job defensively holding them in check. I mean, ideally, you'd want your back to average around 4 yards a pop, but they're falling short of that threshold as of now, and partially it's why they find themselves trailing at this stage in the game.
And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
We're starting to see a lot of this on 3rd down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these 3rd down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball, and in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up 4th down.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. The Lions are back within 2 scores.
So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Now return coming from the 7. He'll get across the 20, mark him down at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. Cousins. This is intercepted. Picked off by Terrion Arnold. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position. A huge chance to cut into the deficit.
Mike, it's very simple in the NFL. You're just not going to win a lot of games when you're losing the turnover battle to this degree. And it's their struggles protecting the football. They've continued to hurt them here today, and that's why they find themselves trailing at this point in the game.
A handoff as they try to run it here. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's 2nd down. Looks like we have an injured Falcon on this play. You hope against hope here in the preseason, especially that it's not too serious. From the 42-yard line, Here's 2nd and 7.
Set. 72.
From the gun. Throw here for Allen. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. He can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Oftentimes, it's the wide open ones that are the hardest to catch. It seems like the ball is in the air forever. You start overthinking it, you start really making more of it than what you should, and you let it slip away.
And that is incomplete. Contact, but no flags. It's going to be 4th down.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
And we will not see a return on this one, as it will be marked down. Falcons offense ready to get back at it. On 1st down, Cousins. That's thrown right side, but incomplete.
And when you look down the field, Mike, there's just really nobody creating any real separation. And instead, he tries to give one of his guys a 50-50 contested catch opportunity. But with the coverage as tight as it was, it just falls incomplete.
Here's Carter. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
This play here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. That is incomplete. Great work to get in there, make things difficult defensively, and it sets up 4th down.
And that's exactly how you teach it. They want these defenders to time the hit, that right when the ball gets there, you separate the receiver from the ball. And those are the ones on offense, man. You just have to make that catch, Mike. I know it's easier said than done, but you know the hit's coming. You've got to squeeze that thing, brace for impact, and make that play for your offense.
And he'll get a few yards back here on the return before being forced out of bounds. The Lions offense ready to get back to work. They'll begin just shy of midfield with a 1st and 10.
Let's go now. 60 Eagles, 60
To
Eagles.
Slaw, the man in motion.
Check up.
Drive will start on the ground. And they'll take this down inside the 35. 19 yards right away to kick off this drive.
Nice job by them getting the back to the perimeter. Then he's able to get outside, stick his foot in the ground, and then get vertical. Right down the numbers. Those are the type of runs this offense wants to see more of going forward.
They go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10.
Set. Rocco 80.
Back to the ground. He'll get it again. Now they are in business inside the 15-yard line. That's 19 yards for the 2nd straight play. They are rolling. Another 1st down.
What a start to this drive. Back-to-back, 2 big plays. And after that nice long run, all of a sudden you find yourself 1st down inside the red zone.
On the move at the 14-yard line, it's 1st and 10.
Ready. Hot 70.
Owned back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And a good run there. Going to get him 5 yards.
And as of right now, they find themselves trailing at the moment, but it's certainly not because of the ground game. He's averaging over 4 yards per carry. Just hasn't been enough to overcome some of their shortcomings elsewhere.
On 2nd down, they run the counter. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
These are the impact plays that this linebacker is capable of, Mike. Not only dissecting and determining where the ball was going, but then to shoot through the line of scrimmage and make this tackle for a loss. That's a big-time play by a really good player.
19.
To the air on third down. Here's Allen. To the back of the end zone. He's got it. Touchdown, Detroit.
Touchdown, Detroit.
This is one of those cases, Mike, where the play caller understands, I got 3 points in my back pocket. There's no need here to be conservative. Let's keep this drive alive and see if we can come away with a touchdown. But instead of just trying to pick up the first down, they go for the big one, and it's a perfect throw, great catch, and they come away with 6.
Here's Bates for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Lions will cut the deficit to 7.
27. Lions 20.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This one taken at the 7. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. Cousins. He's got his tight end, Toriano. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. First time they've whooped his way tonight. Good time to do it. It's a first down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Jahan! 180!
Throwing now, Cousins. Open man, he's got Agnew. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield. They get 12 yards on that pass. First down, Atlanta.
And while it ultimately worked out for him this time, Mike, this is not a throw he wants to make a habit of, because that was risky. When he threw it, I thought that ball was being picked. I think he got away with one here, results in a big pickup, and get a fresh set of downs.
A first down throw for Cousins. The catch is made. It's Agnew. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. They go right back to him. This catch good for 11 and a first down.
37-yard line.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass. Get past the first down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can...
Nowhere to go. He is taken down.
When you can bring cornerbacks on pressure, man, that changes everything for the defensive play caller. Offenses spend all week worrying about linebackers, defensive linemen. How are they going to protect the quarterback? But when you can time up a secondary pressure like this, man, oftentimes there's no answer for it.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long.
Jahan! What's that?
Now a give up the middle. He'll get about 3, and that's going to lead to 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up
3rd and long.
Jahan! 180! Get him! Hey, check him ball!
So, 2 minutes to play in a back-and-forth first half. Greg and I back to Atlanta in a moment. A tough spot here. 3rd and long. Cousins now. His throw left side is complete. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short. And now it's 4th down. Falcons go ahead and take their 2nd timeout as they'll discuss what's to come as 4th down is looming. So on now is John Parker Romo to try the field goal. This a 44-yard attempt. 3 for 3 in the game as this one is also good. And the Falcons going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the 1st half.
So anytime an offense comes off the field after settling for 3, you always have to take the good with the bad. In order to get down there in field goal range, you had to do something positive to move the ball. But at the same time, how are we going to be able to finish these drives and convert for 6 the next time we get down there?
He fields it at the 8. Now an opening past the 30. And it will finally get him down, but he gets all the way close to the 40-yard line. The Lions offense and their wide receiver getting ready to get back to work. Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Allen. He'll be hit as he throws, and that one will wind up incomplete. Could not step into the throw that time. It'll bring up 2nd down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
His throw, left side, for Tesla. He's got it.
I wouldn't be surprised if some point here in the future, Mike, this quarterback drops back. It looks like the same old hitch route underneath, and they give a pump fake and go. You can lull a defense to sleep with a lot of these underneath quick game passes, and once you do, you can try to go for the big one.
3rd down and 9.
Here we go, Shaq.
Out of the gun, here's Allen. That's caught. Left side, it's complete. Remember, he had the touchdown catch the last time they had the football. Here, he's got a 1st down. The Lions all their 1st timeout, and they'll have a chance to talk things over after picking up that 1st down. Throwing again is Allen. Catch is made by Wright.
All right, so anytime you're facing the blitz, the best thing you can do as an offense is just get the ball out of your hand. Get into the hands of receiver, run after catch. In this case, nice job by the defense, rallying to the ball, modest gain.
2nd down, they need 7.
Let's go now.
Throwing again, it's Allen. That's over the middle, but it's incomplete. Isaac Tesla was the intended target. And 3rd down coming up.
Here we go. 19, Tiger, 19.
One more time going up top with Allen. This one down the field, but lined up incomplete.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
And he'll give his guys a little bit more room to work with as he's able to get forward out beyond the 10-yard line. The Falcons offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. Their lead is 10. They go back to work, trying to add to it. It begins with 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end.
When you put plays plays like this on tape, it sends a message to every defender across the league. When you play this offense and this guy has the ball, you better bring it when you come to contact him, because if not, you're going to be on the wrong end of it.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Here's a design run.
They went to the design quarterback run, and there just wasn't a lot of space for the quarterback to operate. You could see him kind of waiting for some of the blocks to develop. Never transpired. Didn't get a whole lot going. Short game.
21 is the line to gain as we hit 3rd down. Now, Cousins. Got his receiver on the in-cut. He's got it. And the defense can't come up with a stop there. Gain of 7 and a 1st down.
And that 1st down was huge for this offense. Now they can take a deep breath. Focus on trying to put a late scoring drive together before we hit the halftime break.
Halftime coming up. We'll get you now to Scott Hansen and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick halftime report. We'll let both sides catch their breath and get their orange wedges as we're going to get ready for the 3rd quarter action. So let's go back out to the stadium as we rejoin our broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thanks. No rest at the break for a couple of, I'm sure, weary defensive coordinators trying to figure out how to stop these offenses here in the 2nd half.
Jack Fox to kick off for the Lions.
Pretty interesting 1st half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this 2nd half gets underway. Get across the 20, mark them at the 22-yard line. The Falcons offense looking to get back to work as we begin this 3rd quarter. So 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 22. The 3rd quarter begins with a run. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. Makai Wingo in there on the tackle.
4 yards on the pickup.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd down and 6. A carry. This is Carter. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Depending on the situation or the down and distance, Mike, the linebackers have different reads. Sometimes they read the offensive lineman. Sometimes they read the running back. In this case, his read brings him right to the play. He's able to make a big stop and keep the game to nothing.
He's going to pick up the 1st down and more. And they're going to have this all the way down inside the 30-yard line. It is a big play there for the Falcons. A gain of 48.
At the 26-yard line.
Now give on the ground. Now yards the gain, down to the 13-yard line.
Wow, this is the advantage to having a really effective passing game, Mike, as the defense now tries to adjust to stopping you through the air. It's a lot easier to mix it up and run the ball. There's a lot less defenders in there trying to stop you.
They show jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. And that'll be a pickup of 3.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 10-yard line.
2nd and 7. Now this is going to be a design run. They let him keep it, and not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
Down in the red zone, design quarterback runs are a handful for defenses to account for. But in this case, give them credit. Not a lot of room to maneuver here for the quarterback, and they keep it to a short gain.
Now, Cousins. Now a screen set up for Carter. And he's going to have the first down. They convert on 3rd, and it sets up a 1st and goal.
What an impressive drive this has really been, and it's a combination of big plays and 3rd down conversions. Now after that last 3rd down pickup, it's 1st and goal. They got a chance to finish this really impressive drive and come away with 6.
Carter. And he'll get 2 on this one before being taken down. Ball a little closer now. It is 2nd and goal. Algier. And he is not going to get to the goal line. In fact, he's even going to lose yards on that play. And now it is 3rd and goal.
Down here this close, all it takes is one defensive lineman defeating his block and getting some penetration, and that's exactly what we saw here. Not only to stop the ball carrier short of the end zone, but to take him down for a loss.
Back at the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, it's Cousins.
These are the worst. I had a couple years, Mike, where I swear I got tackled inside the 1-yard line 10 times, and then you look back and you're like, man, how many touchdowns did I leave on the board because I couldn't get 1 more yard? Now, for him individually, not ideal, but right now they're on the doorstep of the end zone, and they got to find a way to put that ball across the goal line.
Cousins throwing on 4th down. That is incomplete. The defense coming up big in the red zone. It's a turnover on down. The Lions offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And they're going to hear it from this crowd. They're backed up deep as they start 1st and 10. On the ground, Montgomery to start the drive. And he'll move it out of harm's way. A gain of 3 up to the 4-yard line. They face 2nd down and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Handoff here, up the middle. And he'll take this ahead for a gain of about 5. And here comes 3rd down. Trying to pick this one up on the ground. And he's got nowhere to go. That defensive front controls the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 4th down.
Only a yard. It's 4th down.
Here's the Lions punt team now, as he'll have to hit it from his own end zone. This will be returned from the other side of midfield. And it'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. We'll have a short field in front of them as they try to extend this lead out further. Play action now. It's Cousins. He'll take a shot down the middle of the field.
So they dial up zone coverage. This time it's 2 deep safeties. And what they do is they're going to split the field in half. In each safety, they're going to read the quarterback's eyes. And when that front hand comes off the ball to throw, they've got to break. So they've got a lot of room to cover back there. In this case, a really nice job contesting the throw, knocking it away.
That's a gain of 3.
3rd and 7. Cousins gonna throw. And that is incomplete. Contact occurred just as the ball was arriving. There are no flags. It's 4th down. The Falcons getting their punter out there. He'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. Here's the Detroit offense now, headed back onto the field. We'll see how they want to attack things here, backed up deep in their own end. It's 1st and 10. They send a receiver in motion left. Play action now, and here's Allen. That's caught by Teslaw. And he's very close to a 1st down. He's out after a pickup of 9. 2nd and inches.
17-yard line.
Up the middle they go. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
The offense thinks that they can just kind of plow this one up there in the middle and keep the chains moving, but not on this defense. Not only do they not pick up the 1st down, but after suffering that loss, now they've got some decisions to make on 3rd down.
And he's going to go backwards again. The defense coming up big, forcing 4th down.
Well, what looked like an advantage for the offense, Mike, facing 2nd and short now, has turned into a win for the defense. Back-to-back stops for a loss, and it brings up 4th down.
The Lions will punt this ball away as he's standing right around his own goal line. Accelerating toward midfield. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. Falcons offense ready to see what they can do. They'll begin with terrific starting field position. It gets going with 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Cousins. That's 3. 3rd time tonight he's been intercepted. And he's going to set up his guys with great field position. A huge chance to cut into the deficit.
The reality here is that he's just not seeing the field the way that he needs to. Now, give credit. A big part of this is the defense doing an excellent job disguising its coverages all game long. Just before the snap, when he thinks he has the answers, the secondary changes the questions, and they've been rewarded with 3 picks for their effort.
The Lions offense headed back to take over once more. They'll begin with great field position, a short field, in fact, as they start with a 1st down.
Okay, break.
To Slaw, the man in motion. job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. It'll bring up second down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And this defense not fooled by the option. They stick with the running back and they get him down for no gain.
I know it's easy from up in the booth, Mike, but I think that's one of those zone reads where the quarterback needs to pull it and keep it himself. The defense was clearly keyed on the running back. Not much room in there. No gain.
And that is incomplete.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on third down? It's something these teams stress all week. There's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up fourth down.
Returnable from his own 4. And he'll be brought down. Short return. And they'll take over there. The Falcons offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They'll have a long field ahead of them as they start 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. This one complete to Washington. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
A 6-yard pickup.
Bold decision there by this quarterback to attack a guy who's already made you pay for challenging him earlier today. He trusted his guy to not only win, but to defeat man coverage, and I think he got away with one there.
And the defense there to meet him. They'll hold him to 2 and bring up 3rd down.
And with that run, Mike, even though it brings up 3rd down, it still keeps this offense in what they call a 50-50 downs. It means with the down and distance provided, you can call a run or a pass, and both are equal threats. And that's what makes it so hard for these defenses to defend those situations.
Cousins out of the gun on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
So prior to that 3rd down call, Mike, I thought they put themselves in a pretty good situation. At that down and distance, they had run and pass, both at their disposal, but nice job by the defense being up to the task. Force the incomplete, brings up 4th down.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The Lions offense getting set to get back to work. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with 1st down. On play action, here's Allen. Looking down the field there, but it falls incomplete.
Every team has those vertical shots, Mike. They're on the call sheet, and they feel like they can get behind the defense. I think that was one of them, and just couldn't quite connect downfield because he had pretty good separation.
Let's go now.
Now they'll pitch it out here. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more. 3rd down and 9.
Let's go.
Receiver in motion, headed left. And that is incomplete.
Missed opportunities like these are a big reason why they find themselves down double digits here in the 3rd quarter, Mike. Points on this possession could have gone a long way towards making this game competitive, but instead, poor execution, especially in the passing game, and it's another wasted drive.
Fielded at the 9. And he'll get a few yards on this return, up past the 15-yard line. The Falcons offense ready to get back at it. Right away, they'll try a jet sweep. And this defense having nothing of it. They get him down for a loss on the play.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 15-yard line.
Last play went the wrong way. It sets up 2nd and long. It's 2nd down and 12. On the run, here's Carter. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
Coming off that edge, Mike, you have to quickly determine, is this a pass or is it a run? And once he realized it was a run, he's able to shed his blocker, make the play, no gain.
3rd and 11. Cousins. He'll go left side here and complete this one. And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down. The Falcons send their punting unit out. This fielded inside the 35. And he's going to be brought down after a short return. And that's where his team will get possession of the football. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Josh Allen on the bootleg. And that is hauled in on the right sideline. Right inside the chalk. A heck of a catch. That's good for 27 and a 1st down.
Yeah, so what I like here is it's not only a really good play call, but it was really well executed by the quarterback. So they used the bootleg to get their quarterback out of the pocket, change the launch point, and then they pair that with a really nice concept downfield. He uncovers, wide open, nice conversion.
Go! 60 by 6, 60 by 6.
Here's Allen now on 1st and 10. Short pass taken in by the tight end. They'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but 1st down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable 2nd down.
They'll run on 2nd down. And he will get forward for about 5 yards. That sets up 3rd down.
5 yards on the play. And it's 3rd down.
They'll try to get this one on the ground. And they get it at the 18-yard line. The drive stays alive. 1st down picked up. Looks like we have an injured Falcon on this play. You hope against hope here in the preseason, especially, that it's not too serious. So they move inside the 20, 1st and 10 at the 18.
Cowboy 80. Let's go.
From the gun, Josh Allen. And that is caught in the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Lions. He's got another one. His 2nd touchdown of the evening. Greg, sometimes we say it too often. That was an important drive. That one really felt important for them to edge a little bit closer.
Yeah, now the question is, Mike, yeah, the offense does their job, but can the defense get a stop? They've got to continue to get the ball back to their offense. Let them build on that previous drive because they've still got some work to do.
Bates now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Lions are back within a field goal. The lead is 3.
30. Lions 27.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Now return coming from the 7. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense about ready to take over once more. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. Cousins to throw. To the right side here, pass is caught. And he'll be tackled up around the 45-yard line.
Pass interference. Defense. A penalty is declined.
On 1st down, Cousins. That's caught. It's high. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. It's a pickup of 12. It's good for a Falcons 1st down.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get him the ball, pick up the 1st down.
He's going to be taken down at about the 30. Nice chunk here in this good-looking drive. Pickup of 14 and a 1st down.
Hey, Mike, you know the best time to pick up 1st downs is? On 1st downs. Don't wait for 3rd down. We see it here. 3 plays in a row, 3 1st downs on chunk plays, and this offense is rolling.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Pass pulled in by Carter. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. So, from the 22, here's 2nd and 2. They'll run here. It's Carter. And we'll take this down right to the edge of the red zone. 21. Tyleik Williams, 1st rounder out of Ohio State. They're on the tackle.
And after that short run, puts them a little bit closer to the 1st down marker. And they're going to need to create more running room on the ground if they plan on extending this drive.
A run with Carter. And he is going to have that Falcons 1st down by a couple of yards. Able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
A little power football here on 3rd and short. They bring in some extra bulk up front, and they just run this ball straight at the defense. Challenge them in a gotta-have-it moment. Can you stop us? And in this case, the answer was no.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Rush comes. They're setting up the screen. And that keeps them ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards.
You see so many teams wait till 3rd down to execute their screen game, but I like in this case the play caller changes things up. He uses the screen game on 1st down, which will have an effect on this pass rush going forward. How aggressive do they want to get after the quarterback? Because they got that screen play still.
And he's in. Touchdown, Falcons. A try here for the extra point.
Lining up for the extra point.
The kick is good. And the Falcons will extend this third quarter lead.
27. Bradley Pinion set to kick off.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This one taken at the 7. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense and their big play wideout getting set for their next possession. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Get started with 1st and 10. Off the play fake, it's Allen. Now a shot here, deep middle. This one broken up. It's incomplete. The defender right there with him. It brings up 2nd down. A handoff as they try to run it here. And he'll be tackled up around the 45-yard line. They get 15 on that game. 1st down, Detroit.
And with that run, this back is closing in on almost 100 yards for the game today, Mike. He's had a lot of those good chunk plays. This defense has not had a great answer for him so far.
Off the play fake, here's Allen. That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by Divine Diablo.
Intercepted. The Falcons
Those simple routes over the middle, Mike. Well, to the quarterback, they're not always so simple. I'll tell you why. There's a lot of bodies in the middle of the field. There's a lot of traffic. Those windows are hard to navigate the ball through safely. So what happens? Well, you saw it there. It's a prime area for throws to be intercepted.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. Open man, he's got Agnew. And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. So, no shortage of offense in this one as we end the 3rd. EA Sports back for more. The NFL preseason after this. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 2. We see a lot of this as they begin the 4th quarter on the ground. And he'll take this one forward for about 3, and that's a 1st down.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. 2nd and short. Play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the 1st down.
A throw left side, but it's incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play.
You know, at this point, the defense has to sell out and stop the run. You know exactly what the offense is trying to get accomplished by keeping the ball on the ground. But now the question remains, are they willing to take some risk here and put the ball in the air on 3rd down? Or do they play it safe and keep running the clock and keeping the ball on the ground?
He needed 13 and got 14 for the 1st down.
It's a gain of 14 yards. And the Falcons, 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
That might end up being the backbreaker right now. This defense desperately needed to get off the field and give their offense a chance to cut into this 2-score lead. But instead, they now got to defend a fresh set of downs. And as you look up at this clock, they might be running out of time.
And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
At this stage in the fourth quarter, great job by the defense, understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to bleed the clock, shorten the game. They completely sold out to stop the run, able to take them down for a loss.
Here's Carter, and he's going to be swallowed up again. Back-to-back runs, back-to-back losses. Now it's third down.
I think a little bit of what's happened here, Mike, is this offense is having some trouble matching the level of physicality of the defense. So physically, they're getting beat at the point of attack, and I think these last two plays are a great example why.
Thrown left side, the catch is made. Second time they've connected on the drive, and this one goes for 17 yards.
17 yards. That's another.
An interesting decision there by the play caller to put this ball in the air. Mike, you're up by 2 scores. Traditional wisdom says, hey, we're up by 2 scores late in the fourth quarter. We've got to keep this clock moving. You don't want to risk an incompletion. Now, they convert. They're able to secure the catch and pick up a fresh set of downs. That's going to enable them to continue to burn more clock. And without a stop, their opponent's not going to get the ball back.
Second and 10. Using the jet sweep for the fake, they run it up the middle. And that won't get a whole lot. Maybe a yard. That's it.
A 2-yard pickup.
Converted twice on third down already on this drive. Now can they do it for a third time? From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And on third down, that ball incomplete.
I like the idea of taking your shot there on third down, pushing the ball downfield, looking for the touchdown. But now as it brings up fourth down, you're already this close. You're in field goal range, but do you keep that offense on the field and try to maintain possession and see if you can come away with 6?
Another one through the uprights. He's 4 for 4 on the game. And the Falcons will add to their lead here in the fourth quarter.
Bradley Pinion set to kick off.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Now return coming from the 7. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Lions offense starting to trot out for this next possession. On first and 10, it's Allen. Quick throw here is complete. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. From the 34-yard line. Here's second and a couple. They'll turn and hand this one off. And he will keep the drive moving. Gets the first down. Nice gain of 5.
Well, here's where you really see the value of having a good run. Third and short, fourth and short, the ability to just keep it simple, win up front, turn around, hand the ball to your back, and say, okay, more likely
That's to the sideline. It is intercepted, but I don't think he was able to stay in bounds. And indeed, the officials concur. It is incomplete. Very nearly a turnover. Now a give up the middle. I don't think that was going too far either way. Defense right on it. They hold him to no gain. Here's a 3rd and 10. To Slaw, the man in motion. To the air on 3rd down. Here's Allen. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. One team out, ready to send this one away. much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. It's all gone according to plan here in this preseason opener, and look to finish things strong here in the fourth quarter. A carry, and this is Carter. And he'll be out of bounds. That's a nice gain, though, on first down. A pickup of 7. So, from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Now, this looks like a design run. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
And you could tell pretty quickly, Mike, that once the quarterback started chopping his feet, that there was nowhere for him to go. Great job by the defense, not only reading quarterback run, but getting him down behind the line.
And that one's incomplete. They really ratcheted up the coverage there, and they force 4th down. Special teams on the field, ready for this punt, as they try to play the field position game here, protecting a fourth quarter lead. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. Here's the Detroit offense now, headed back onto the field. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Start on the ground. Oh, he's hit behind the line, and the ball is out.
Now, obviously, there's never a good time to fumble the ball. It's probably the thing that teams stress the most is ball security. But it makes it a little bit easier knowing that your own team was able to fall on top of it, and at least you can maintain possession.
They showed jet sweep and instead run it up the middle. Maybe a couple there. It's 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Allen. Down the field, but it falls incomplete.
It's just so hard to be a good offense in the NFL, Mike, when you are not good on 3rd down. Your inability to extend drives, it either puts a lot of pressure on your coaches to be aggressive on 4th down, or simply punt or take a field goal. You have to maintain possession and give you more cracks to score touchdowns.
And he'll get something there on the return, able to take this back to the 20-yard line. Falcons offense ready to take over once again. The drive begins at the 20. Here's 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down.
Taken down at the 22-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
They'll stick with him again. Nice gain here. He's going to be marked down at the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 13. 1st down, Atlanta.
And this running game has really been rolling, Mike, all game long. The holes, the run lanes, they've been there consistently. Here's another nice run as they look to put this game away.
From the pistol, it's Carter. Not much happening there. Just a short game. So, from the 37, here's 2nd and 8. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And he's going to be stuck well behind the line of scrimmage. A play going absolutely nowhere.
The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. It'll gain some yardage here, but that is not nearly enough for the 1st down. It's going to bring up 4th down. And now Now the punting unit will come up. Returnable from the 17. But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. The Lions offense makes their way back out to the field for their next possession. A carry here for Reynolds. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
Here's Reynolds. And he's got this up close to the 35-yard line. Give him 14 on that one. Good for a Lions first down.
The best offensive play callers in the NFL, Mike, do a great job tying in their under-center run game, like we just saw here, with their under-center play action game. And the ability to make those two things look alike, man, it puts a lot of stress on the defense.
This time the sledding becomes a little more difficult. They're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 35-yard line.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 9. So now they'll throw it with Allen. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield. A gain of 16 on that pass play. First down, Detroit.
A gain of 16 yards. And the Lions first down.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Ready?
Here's Allen to throw. That's going to be intercepted. Picked by the rookie out of Oklahoma. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
There's Kirk Cousins. He and the Falcons set for their next drive. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes, generally one step ahead of the defense all game long.
To hot! 180!
Now Algier. And he's going to be brought down just outside the 10-yard line. What a pickup, a gain of 18. And it sets up 1st and goal.
So when you're evaluating the impact of a team's run game, Mike, I think it's important at the end of the game to look back and say, okay, how many yards did they run for? But more importantly, when did those yards come? Did I run for those yards in the 4th quarter, which typically means I had to lead? That's the sign of a successful run game, as opposed to getting a lot of meaningless yards early in the game.
This time they're ready for it. Room to run the last snap, not this one. They stop him for no gain.
There's very few defenses in today's NFL, Mike, that you can play the cornerback position and be unwilling to tackle. Those days are kind of over, so give credit to this guy. I mean, he identified run, he understood his leverage and gap fit, and he's able to bring him down for no gain.
Here comes the jet sweep. And this defense trying to stiff it. He gets back to the line, and that is it. 3rd and goal coming up.
The play lost a yard. It's now 3rd and goal.
Here's Cousins. Here's a screen taken in by Algier. And he gets to the outside and takes it in. Tyler Algier. Touchdown, Atlanta. Greg, that's one of those scores where it's not completely over, but it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah, Mike, I just think they're entering miracle stage right now, and I just don't think there's any coming back from this deficit.
Falcons will line up for the 2-point
They're going to try to run it in. And he finds his way to the end zone again. Scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend the lead.
Not a real complicated breakdown needed here, Mike. In short yardage situations like that, if you have confidence in both your back and your offensive line, sometimes it's the simplest plays that have the best results.
Bradley Pinion set to kick off.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. This taken in at the 8-yard line. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Lions offense getting their final instructions. We're heading back onto the field. Things not looking good. But see if we can get the turnaround going here. He'll start this drive with 1st down.
Let's go now.
Operating out of the gun, here comes Allen. A hit as he throws there. It's going to wind up incomplete. The pressure got to him that time, and it'll set up 2nd down.
I think he knew in the back of his head, Mike, he had to get rid of this ball a little sooner than he would have liked. And with that pressure getting there in a hurry, it just ends up being a wasted down.
To the air on 2nd down. Here's Allen. A throw left side, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, it's pretty clear the main reason why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the inefficiency of this offense and primarily out of the quarterback position. I mean, to complete less than half of your pass attempts, it just makes it very hard to compete at a high level consistently in the NFL. And they want to find themselves having any chance of getting back into this game and winning this one. He's going to have to get a lot better with the ball.
First down.
Here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Man in motion, heading left. On the ground is Reynolds. And the struggles in the running game continue. They take him down behind the line.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning 1st down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Now Allen. That's going to be incomplete. Coverage very good there. Contact jarring the ball loose, and it's going to force 3rd down.
I got high standards for offensive players, but in this case, Mike, I think I'm giving all the credit to the defender. He timed that one up perfectly, and what could have been an easy play ends up as an incomplete.
Catch is made by Wright. And a good job here defensively. They did not let him get away. He's well short of the 1st down mark. The offense staying out there for this 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Allen. That's 3rd time tonight he's been intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Now, after the interception, we have an injured player to look at. You hope against hope here in the preseason, especially that it's not too serious. They go play action with Cousins. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. His 8th reception of the game. And good for a first down.
This is a tale as old as time, Mike. It seems that any time a team forces a takeaway, fumble, or interception, the ensuing drive starts with a shot, a deep play in the air to try to seize on some of that momentum. We just saw a great example of it here.
And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this. He fought through that first contact. It'll bring up second down.
2 yards.
Nice job by the running back making the first guy miss, but it's the pursuit by the entire defense. Even though he doesn't get him down on his first try, the rest of his guys are all rallying to the ball. They bring him down for a short gain.
And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to third down.
That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
Working out of the gun, it's Cousins. He gets this one complete to Hodge. They get 14 on that hookup. It's good for a Falcon first down.
Third downs, Mike, those are quarterback downs. Those are the downs where you tend to find yourself in a must-pass situation, and that's where the top guys in the league are still capable of overcoming it. So throw the ball downfield, be accurate with the ball. Winning on third downs, that is a recipe for success.
He was taken down at the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
So, 2 minutes to play here in the second half. We'll come back and finish this one off after this. 2nd and 5. Off the play fake. Here's Cousins. That's to the end zone, but it is incomplete.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
Cousins out of the gun on third down. And that is incomplete.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more. It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
Bradley Pinion set to kick off.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This one taken at the 7. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Lions offense ready for this next possession. Run. A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 30-yard line.
Throwing is Allen. And that's a first down. It will be a gain of 8. The Lions call their first timeout, and they'll get a chance to catch their breath over on the sideline.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
And he's down on the other side of midfield. Mark him at the 48-yard line. Now a timeout at Madden. That's their first. They'll be disappointed there after giving up the first down.
At the 48-yard line.
Here's Allen. And it's complete to the sideline. Nice job getting both feet down inbounds.
This is why the timing of these routes is so critical. If that ball is thrown a little bit later, he's unable to keep his feet in bounds, but instead the quarterback is on time and accurate, and the receiver does a nice job not only securing the catch, but ensuring that both feet.
And he will score! Greg Reynolds. Touchdown, Detroit.
At this stage of the game, the score is really irrelevant. You want to try to build something positive towards the end of this game, and I think that score will help do just that.
Now Allen and his offense preparing to go for two.
The Lions will set up for the
They'll look to throw. That is caught. And they get the two-point conversion.
Everything's about matchups, especially down here this close to the goal line. I think my guy's better than your guy. I'm going to put him in a position to have success, throw it up to him, and let him do the rest.
This taken at the 5. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The Falcons offense ready to take over possession of the football. And still 2 timeouts left for the defense, but no real need to use them. They're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. So here's a 1st and 10 now. They'll start from the 24. On 1st down, they'll start out with Algier. And he dances away from one defender on his way. Gain of 7.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
The RPO, that one is complete. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a 1st down after a gain of 7.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback. But the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
It's a win here for the Falcons as they start things out with a victory here in the first week of this preseason. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. The Falcons are winners as we say so long from Atlanta.